Ever wish you could just hit a boost button,
Oh.
for like more energy focus and motivation?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Today we're diving into a YouTube video from Awaken Your Potential.
Okay.
It's part 1 of a 9-part series
Wow.
to see if they've cracked the code for unlocking that potential.
That'd be awesome.
And just to be clear,
Yeah.
we're after actionable steps,
Right.
not just feel-good vibes.
I feel you.
The video kicks off with this idea of a mental map, a tool for self-discovery that we'll be referencing throughout.
So it's like a blueprint for your well-being.
Exactly. Helping you visualize where you are and where you want to go.
I like that.
And the video really emphasizes this mind-body connection, arguing that our thoughts have a tangible impact on our physical state.
Okay.
They use this analogy of the mind as a garden. You can plant seeds of positivity or negativity.
Right.
And those seeds grow into real, tangible results.
Interesting.
So, listener, what kind of seeds are you planting?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's fascinating because we often separate the mind and body,
Right.
but science is showing us how deeply interconnected they are.
Okay.
Think about stress hormones like cortisol. When you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, your body reacts as if the threat is real.
Oh, wow.
This flood of cortisol can disrupt sleep, impacts your energy levels, and even affect your immune system.
Like a domino effect.
Exactly.
So feeling overwhelmed or energized isn't just a mindset.
Right.
It's a physiological reality that we can influence.
It is. I mean, so it's not just about positive affirmations.
No, not at all.
There's actual biology at play.
There is.
And the video provides some interesting examples of how this plays out in real life.
Yeah.
They talk about how chronic stress can manifest as muscle tension, headaches, and fatigue.
Makes sense.
But on the flip side,
Yeah.
belief and motivation can lead to physical strength and resilience. Exactly. They use the example of interval training,
Oh, yeah.
highlighting how just 20 minutes
Wow.
can have a huge impact on your fitness.
That's amazing.
That's a pretty compelling argument for those who
Oh,
say
why?
they don't have time to
I
exercise.
don't have time.
Right? You got 20 minutes.
You got 20 minutes.
Exactly.
I'm always looking for ways to maximize my time.
Yeah.
So that definitely caught my attention.
Of course.
Speaking of maximizing time,
Yeah.
the video also delves into some unexpected strategies for improving well-being.
Okay.
One that stood out was the concept of a 12-hour fasting window.
Okay.
Not extreme fasting,
Right.
but simply finishing dinner at, say, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
and not eating again until 8 a.m. the next day.
So like giving your body a break.
Exactly. A chance to rest and repair.
Yeah.
And the potential benefits are fascinating.
They are?
Some studies suggest that this type of intermittent fasting can improve cellular repair, increase mental clarity, and even boost metabolism.
Wow.
It's not about deprivation.
Right.
It's about working with your body's natural rhythms.
I like that.
It's interesting how they present it as a way to tap into your body's inherent capabilities rather than forcing it into something it's not designed for.
I agree.
Isn't it challenging to stick to a 12-hour fasting window, though?
Wow.
Especially for people with busy schedules or varying work shifts.
It definitely requires a shift in mindset
Okay.
and some planning.
Right.
But the video encourages viewers to start by simply becoming aware of their eating patterns.
That's a good point.
Even just noticing when you eat can be an eye-opening first step.
Yeah.
Then you can gradually adjust your eating window.
Okay.
Find what feels sustainable for you.
So it's about finding what works for you,
Yeah.
not adhering to some rigid rule book.
Exactly.
I like that.
Good.
The video also emphasizes the importance of spending time in nature.
Oh, yeah.
They actually cite research
Okay.
showing that even just 20 minutes in nature
Wow.
can reduce cortisol levels and improve focus.
That's pretty powerful.
It's something we intuitively know,
Yeah.
that being in nature feels good,
Right.
but it's powerful to see the scientific evidence backing it up.
I agree.
Our brains are wired to connect with the natural world, and that connection seems to have tangible benefits for our mental and physical health.
It does.
Imagine a simple walk in the park
Yeah.
could be as effective as a meditation session
Really?
for reducing stress.
That's amazing.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
And now that you mention it, I'm starting to see how all these seemingly disparate strategies,
Right.
the mindset piece, the fasting, the nature walks, they're all interconnected.
Exactly. And the video goes even deeper.
Okay.
Exploring the gut-brain connection.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Okay.
Because I've heard a lot of buzz about the gut microbiome, but I'm not really sure what it all means.
Well, it turns out that the trillions of bacteria living in our gut, collectively known as the gut microbiota,
Got it.
play a much bigger role in our overall health than we previously thought.
That's interesting.
These bacteria can actually communicate with our brain,
Relate.
influencing our mood focus and even our susceptibility to certain diseases.
So it's not just about digestion.
Nope.
What we eat can actually impact our mental state.
You can.
Now, that's a mind-body connection I never considered.
It's pretty fascinating.
It is.
It means that we can potentially improve our mental and emotional well-being by nurturing our gut health.
And how do we do that?
Well, foods like yogurt, kefir, and kimchi are known to be beneficial for gut health.
That makes the idea of you are what you eat take on a whole new meaning.
It does.
But I have to admit, with all this talk of fasting, nature walks, and gut bacteria, it's starting to feel a bit overwhelming.
Sure.
Where does someone even begin to implement all of this?
That's where the mental map comes in.
Oh, right.
Remember that concept from the beginning?
Yeah.
It's a framework for breaking down these seemingly complex ideas into manageable steps.
Right. It's divided into 4 branches: mind, body, obstacles, and goals.
Yes.
Can you walk us through how this mental map works?
Absolutely. The mental map is all about asking yourself targeted questions to uncover your personal path to well-being.
Got it.
It starts with the mind branch, where you explore your current mindset, beliefs, and thought patterns.
Okay.
Then you move to the body branch, where you assess your physical health habits and energy levels.
Right.
The obstacles branch is all about identifying what's standing in the way of you feeling your best. Could be stress, lack of sleep, or even negative self-talk.
So many things.
There are a lot of potential obstacles.
Yeah.
Finally, you arrive at the goals branch,
Okay.
where you set intentions for what you want to achieve.
Okay, so it's not about achieving some perfect ideal.
No, not at all.
It's more about understanding your current state.
Right.
And creating a roadmap for improvement.
Exactly. The mental map encourages you to really engage with these questions, to get curious about your own well-being, and to start thinking intentionally about the choices you make every day.
I like that.
And this is just the beginning, remember?
Right.
This is just the first video in a 9-part series.
So it's like a foundation for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
A way to personalize the information and make it relevant to your own life.
Precisely. It's about empowering you to design your own path to well-being, one that fits your unique needs and goals.
Awesome.
I know it's exciting stuff.
It sounds like this mental map is more than just a tool. It's a philosophy for approaching self-improvement.
It is. It's about progress, not perfection.
Right.
And I think that's a really refreshing perspective in a world where we're constantly bombarded with images of unrealistic perfection.
Totally.
It's easy to get caught in the comparison game and feel like we're falling short.
Right.
But this video encourages us to embrace our individual journeys.
It's like they're saying, hey, it's okay to be exactly where you are right now.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on taking small, sustainable steps towards feeling better.
Exactly.
That's a message I can definitely get behind.
For sure.
And speaking of small steps,
okay,
one of the things that really resonated with me was the emphasis on how even tiny changes can make a big difference over time.
Absolutely. They use the analogy of compound interest.
Oh, interesting.
Small, consistent investments that accumulate over time, leading to significant gains.
I see.
It's the same with our well-being.
Got it.
Even seemingly insignificant changes like adding a 10-minute walk to your day or incorporating a serving of fermented foods into your diet can have a ripple effect on your overall health.
I'm all about those small wins.
Me too.
It's so much more sustainable than trying to overhaul your entire life overnight.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's less daunting too.
Right.
But let's go back to the mind-body connection for a moment, because I think it's worth emphasizing just how profound this concept really is.
It is.
The video even mentions how chronic stress can increase the risk of serious health problems, like cardiovascular disease.
It's true. Our bodies are designed to handle stress in short bursts.
Right.
Like when we're facing an immediate threat.
Okay.
But when we're chronically stressed, our bodies are in a constant state of fight or flight.
Yeah.
Pumping out cortisol and adrenaline.
Oh, wow.
which can take a toll on our cardiovascular system over time.
So it's not just about feeling frazzled or anxious.
Right.
It's about protecting our long-term health.
Exactly.
And that brings us back to the power of our thoughts. If we can learn to manage our stress and cultivate a more positive outlook, we can actually improve our physical health.
It's not just about thinking positive thoughts all the time, which, let's face it, isn't realistic for most of us.
No.
It's more about developing a greater awareness of our thought patterns and learning how to reframe negative thoughts in a more constructive way.
So it's about becoming more mindful of our internal dialogue and choosing thoughts that serve us rather than sabotage us.
Exactly.
And the cool thing is we have tools at our disposal to help us do that.
That's right.
We've got the mental map to guide us. We've got the strategies like spending time in nature or incorporating gut-friendly foods.
Right.
And we even have simple techniques like deep breathing or meditation to help us manage stress in the moment.
It's about building a toolkit for well-being.
I like that.
And finding what works best for you.
Yeah.
And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Oh, of course.
There will be days when you feel amazing and days when you struggle.
For sure.
That's all part of the process.
It is.
The key is to keep showing up for yourself and making small, consistent efforts towards feeling your best.
I love that. It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
And it's about recognizing that taking care of our well-being is an ongoing commitment, not a one-time fix.
I agree.
Speaking of commitment,
Yeah.
what are some of the biggest challenges you see people facing when it comes to implementing these types of lifestyle changes?
I think one of the biggest obstacles is feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
There's so much information out there, and it can be hard to know where to start.
That's true.
That's why I think the mental map is such a valuable tool.
Yeah.
Because it provides a framework for breaking down these concepts into manageable steps.
It's like having a roadmap for your well-being.
Is.
And once you have a roadmap, you can start taking those first steps, even if they're small ones.
Exactly.
I remember when I first started incorporating more gut-friendly foods into my diet, I felt so overwhelmed by all the different options and recipes.
I get that.
But then I realized I didn't have to change everything overnight.
Right.
I could just start by adding a serving of yogurt or kefir to my breakfast each day.
Exactly. And those small changes can have a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Once you start seeing the benefits of one healthy habit, you're more likely to adopt others.
It's like building momentum.
It is.
And that momentum can be incredibly powerful.
Oh, sure.
It can take you further than you ever thought possible.
Absolutely.
Before we move on to the final part of our deep dive into this video,
Okay.
is there anything else that stood out to you as particularly helpful or insightful?
Honestly, I think the biggest takeaway for me is the emphasis on self-compassion.
Oh, that's a good one.
They really drive home the point that we're all on our own unique journeys and that it's okay to be exactly where we are right now.
Right.
That kind of self-acceptance is so crucial because it creates a foundation for growth and change.
I agree. It's about embracing our imperfections.
Yeah.
And recognizing that we're all works in progress.
Exactly.
And that's a really empowering message.
Yeah, it is.
Because it takes the pressure off of having to be perfect.
It does. It allows us to focus on what we can control, which is our effort and our intention.
I like that.
And when we approach our well-being from a place of self-compassion, we're much more likely to stick with it for the long haul.
So as we wrap up this part of our conversation,
okay,
I want to encourage you, listener, to take a moment and reflect on your own journey.
That's a good idea.
What are some of the small wins you've already achieved?
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you're facing? And most importantly, what are some of the kind and compassionate things you can say to yourself today to support your well-being? Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, you know, from the mind-body connection to the power of small changes.
Yeah, it's been a great conversation.
But let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
What can our listeners actually do today to start feeling more energized and focused?
Well, the video gives us some concrete starting points. We've touched on the 12-hour fasting window, adding gut-friendly foods to your diet, and that quick nature walk, all things you can easily weave into your routine.
And I appreciate how the video framed these as experiments, not strict rules. It's about figuring out what works best for your body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. And what makes one person thrive might not do the same for another.
They also highlighted interval training.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm curious about your take on that. I'll admit I've always been a bit intimidated by the intensity.
I get that.
So.
But the beauty of interval training is that you can adjust the intensity to your fitness level.
Okay.
And the video points out that even short bursts of high-intensity exercise, interspersed with recovery periods, can have a huge impact on your metabolism and cardiovascular health.
Plus, they talked about the endorphin release.
Right.
Which can be a real mood booster.
Totally.
So it's a win-win for both body and mind.
Yeah.
But wouldn't interval training be hard on someone with joint issues or other health concerns?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's always wise to consult with your doctor before starting any new exercise program.
Yeah.
Especially if you have pre-existing conditions.
Of course.
They can help you determine what's safe and appropriate for you. There are also many low-impact variations of interval training that can be just as effective.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now let's revisit that mental map concept one last time.
Okay.
How would you suggest our listener approach filling out their own map?
I'd encourage approaching it with a sense of curiosity rather than judgment.
Okay.
Start with the mind branch and be honest with yourself about your current mindset. What are your recurring thought patterns?
Right.
Are they serving you or holding you back?
Good questions.
Then move to the body branch.
Okay.
Taking stock of your physical health habits?
Yeah.
Are you getting enough sleep? Are you moving your body regularly?
And then comes the obstacles branch.
Right.
Where you identify the roadblocks to feeling your best.
Exactly.
Whether it's stress, negative self-talk, or even a lack of time for self-care.
It could be a lot of things.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to be objective about our own obstacles.
That's true.
What if the listener isn't even aware of what's holding them back?
That's where mindfulness practices like journaling or meditation can be incredibly helpful. Even just taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly and observe your thoughts and feelings can bring greater awareness to those underlying patterns and beliefs that might be sabotaging your efforts.
So it's about tuning into yourself.
Yeah.
Becoming aware of your inner landscape.
Exactly.
And finally, there's the goals branch. It's not just about setting ambitious targets.
Right.
But also about identifying what truly matters to you.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And the video emphasizes that your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound or SMART goals for short.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It takes the vagueness out of goal setting and gives you a framework for success.
Exactly.
And remember, the mental map isn't a one-time exercise.
Right, it's not.
It's a living document that you can revisit and revise as you evolve and grow.
It's a great tool for self-discovery.
So it's about progress, not perfection. It's about showing up for yourself each day and making those small intentional choices that move you closer to your vision of well-being.
That's a great way to put it.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listener with a powerful image from the video.
Okay.
Your mind is like a garden.
I like that.
What seeds are you planting today, listener? What actions can you take to cultivate a thriving inner landscape?
And if your body could talk, what would it be asking for right now to reach its full potential? Let that be your guide.
That's a beautiful thought to end on. And remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Just choose one small step, one seed to plant today. The journey to unlocking your potential starts with a single mindful choice.